Welcome to the right-hand menu. You can automate your target audience engagement scenarios with our ready-to-use workflows. In this video, we're going to look at customizing our workflow template that will automate your outbound campaigns funnel management. This automates the conversation with leads who click your ads or email and SMS campaign links. Before we start, please check out our video on mapping your Google account so that you can download our workflow sheets to your Google Drive and customize them. The links to the videos are in the description. Let's get started. In Step 2 within the RBA Rules tab, you first download the workflow template. For the automation of lead funnel management, you'll need two templates. The first one is Lead Gen Workflow Template. We'll use this to manage inbound leads, who come and interact with your digital assets like your business Facebook page or your website. The other is Campaign Workflow Template, which you can use to bring leads to your digital assets through outbound campaigns, like third-party ads, email campaign invites, or just by identifying traction on your marketing posts on social media and nudging the engaging audience to explore your product or service offerings. In this video, we're going to automate outbound campaign funnel management, and so we'll download the campaign management template. Create folders in your Google Drive and move the downloaded template to the respective folder. We've explained this in our video on mapping your Google Drive account. Check out the description for the video link. Before we begin customizing the template, let's understand what the contents of lead funnel management templates look like. What we're going to see within the template apply for both the lead gen template and the campaign template. The first column is a field called step number. The numbers are generally sequential starting from 1, but it doesn't have to be in an order, though we recommend it. What's most important to remember is that the step numbers are unique. The numbers should not repeat. No two rows should have the same step number. The automation engine identifies the rows based on the step number. Duplicate rows with the same step number will result in the synchronization of template with DB to fail. The second column, or column B, contains the text that will be posted to your target audience. The content will be read and displayed just the way it appears in this cell. If it has a line break for a new sentence or paragraph, the line breaks will appear in the posted message too. If the character count exceeds the limits set by various digital channels, the content will be broken up into 2 or more messages. The third column, or column C, tells the automation engine what is the type of message or question that is being set up. Based on the value chosen for question type, the automation framework allows flexibility to include validations or other rules like post-processing. The simplest of these is the multiple choice type of question or text, which can have up to 10 options that the target audience can choose from, and respond to this type of message. Then we need to have at least one dialogue with a message type set up as the one, called end of conversation. The workflow ends when this step is reached. The question or text against a row of this question type will be the last message sent to the target audience. If the workflow does not end in this type of message, the conversation will be hanging without completion. You will not be able to see incomplete conversations in the dashboards or reports, and hence, will remain hidden. There's one more type of end of conversation, which when reached, has the option to execute an API call. You can configure the endpoint API call execution for this step number in the RBA Rules tab. For example, you can publish the audience's personal data, captured in this workflow, to your CRM apps or in-house tools. Check out the description for a video on how to set this up. And then, we also have message types that can ask for the audience to send a free text input. The responses to some of these message types may need validation. For example, email address or age, or the year of birth. There are some that do not need a validation of the responses, like street address or notes and comments. There are special message types too, like the camera shot of the barcode, which will ask the audience to send a photo of their product barcode. You can select the question or message type to suit the conversation flow you want to design. The next column is called step number to fire. We define the step number to which the control will flow to when the target audience responds to the current question or message. We provide the next step number here, unless the current row's message type is of multiple choice. This is important to remember. For multiple choice message type, we configure the next step number for each of the choices, which is the column that is next to each choice. Also, if the current row's message type is end of conversation, then the current row, obviously, does not need the next step number, since the flow ends with the current step. Any workflow step that is of a multiple choice message type will need the choices or options to be defined. These are the options that the target audience will see as a quick reply button, one for each option, like this. When you create an option, you provide the text that will be displayed, and you also provide the step number that should be triggered when this option is selected by the target audience. Hence, each option, like option A, option B, and so on, till the 10th choice, which is option J, needs the next step number to be defined. You can create up to 10 options, for each multiple choice, message type. Please restrict the number of characters in the option text, as much as possible. If it exceeds 25 characters, some channels may trim the text. You can experiment with the display text length for each digital channels, and shorten it, if necessary. Here are some of the do's and don'ts to remember when working with template sheets. Do not edit or change the formula or the formatting. Do not rename the worksheets. The automation engine would expect the contents of the workflow steps to be available in the first worksheet called template. Do not change the name of this worksheet. Do not rename the worksheet called metadata. Do not change the content of this worksheet either. Do not change the order of the worksheets. Template worksheet must be the first. Metadata should be the second worksheet. Do not download the Google Spreadsheets to your hard disk to open and work on it with other tools like Microsoft Excel. Please open the spreadsheet in a browser only. Some of the formula and rules may get lost if other tools are used. When inserting a new row across the template worksheet, please copy the contents of a row in its entirety and paste it on the newly inserted row. There are cells that contain formatting rules and formula, which will not be available in a newly inserted row. Copying and pasting contents of an existing row will also insert the necessary rules and formatting needed for the new row to be functional. After duplicating the contents of another row, in the newly created row, you can change the content to suit the workflow step. During this process, you'll run into a warning message like this. This warning can be ignored only when you are inserting a new row, or if you're resizing a row or column. However, if you run into this warning in any other scenario, please do not proceed with the editing. This warning lets you know that the cell, column or row that you are trying to edit is protected. Proceeding against the warning will result in the template sheet getting corrupted. If it gets corrupted, you'll have to download the sheet again and redo the customization from the beginning. If the above rules are not followed correctly, the automation engine can fail the synchronization of template with the database. We now open the template and customize the steps. This campaign template sheet has been cleared of the default steps that came with the downloaded sheet. We'll now create the steps one by one. Let's put a welcome message, nudging the audience to explore the product, now that the lead has clicked the campaign link and expressed interest on the product. We set the message type to one of the multiple choices. In this example, we'll provide the audience with two choices. The first is to allow them to claim the coupon right away. The second choice is to let them learn more about the product. Next, we create steps that qualify the lead. We ask a few questions about their personal preferences, and also capture their personal information, before revealing the coupon code. The data we are going to capture will help the sales team to send personalized messages through SMS or emails with coupons, based on their product preference. Even if they do not complete the sale here, we can bring them back and convert the sale with a better recommendation later on. When it comes to capturing the personal data, we include name, mobile number and email address. Then we create the step that reveals the discount coupon. Like we explained in the video on customizing templates for inbound lead funnel automation, we can configure the final message as an end of conversation that can also make API calls to your CRM or any other softwares you may be running, to pass on the captured information of your leads. Now, it's time to assign step numbers to each step and map them correctly to the response options of each step. This is to ensure that all the steps are fired in the correct order that we want. The first step, which is the welcome message, can start from 1. But we've assigned it as 8. We assign the step number of the next dialog as 9, and also map it to the claim coupon option of step 8. We continue assigning step numbers to the subsequent dialogs in the flow, and map it to the choices of other steps, to ensure those choices, when selected, take the control to the step number that is mapped against that choice. We had assigned step number 8 to the welcome message. This is to illustrate that the campaign sheet can have the flows designed for as many product campaigns as we want. It could be multiple campaign flows, for the same product, with different discount coupons, to identify which discount option gets you the best click-through rates. Or, it could be multiple campaigns, one for each product you want to offer, to identify which product has the most traction, and the best click-through rate. Coming back to the end of conversation, we're choosing step number 16 as the final dialog. This is going to push the captured data to the destination, which can generate a personalized discount voucher, and have it messaged to the audience through an email or SMS. Check out the description for the video on setting up API calls. Now, we create steps that help the leads to learn more about the product. If they select No More in the welcome message dialog, these steps will be fired. These steps provide an overview of the product, and also, the features and specifications. Both these steps have options that fire the lead qualification steps, when they click Get Coupon, by taking them to step number 9. Notice that all these branching out, eventually will flow to a step that is of the type End of Conversation. Now, we're going to create a campaign flow for another product, which is a variant of the first product. We are reusing the lead qualification steps ranging from steps numbered 9 through 16. We could create another set of qualification questions from steps 23 onwards, if necessary, instead of reusing the steps numbered 9 through 16. It is important to provide call to action buttons like Buy Now or Shop Now in the final step, so that the lead can click and go to the shopping cart, where they can use the discount coupon code. Check out the description for the link to our video on how to create multimedia content for these steps, including call to action buttons. Also, all the completed conversations are available for you to view in the Conversations tab. Once you start using the sheet, it becomes extremely easy and self-explanatory. You can play around by creating new steps and changing the question type. Just remember to follow the do's and don'ts that were explained earlier in this video. Now, you upload the customized workflow sheet to your right-hand men account. We've explained this in our video on mapping your Google Drive account. Check out the description for the video link. We've designed the Outbound Campaign's conversation flow. What we need next is a click-through link that we can use in our digital ads or email and SMS marketing to pull the leads into a conversation flow. The link contains the context of the campaign, like the step number of the welcome message, the digital channel where the lead is going to be engaged, how we're going to get the lead into a conversation, whether it's through an ad, or SMS or email, or even through an auto response to their comment on a marketing post on your Facebook page. First, we pick the welcome message. That's the starting point of the campaign's conversation flow. It's step number 8, like we designed the flow within the template. Now, click the Load Campaigns button, and go to step 11. In step 11, we create the campaign by providing a name for it. We've selected Facebook as the digital channel where the leads are going to be engaged. Also, the mechanism of pulling the lead into this conversation is also defined. In this case, it's going to be through a third-party ad, possibly through Google Ads. The leads enter the conversation flow when they click the ad. We now hit the Save button and create the campaign. This also generates the campaign click URL. This is the click-through URL that you can configure the third-party ads with. Ad clicks will take the audience to this URL, which in turn takes them to our business Facebook Messenger page and triggers the conversation flow of the campaign. We can also create another campaign on the same welcome message in step number 8, with the channel selected as our website's page that has the web chat functionality. The generated campaign click URL is different for each campaign we create, even if the conversation flow within the template is the same. We also create campaigns for the product variant, which we've set up from step number 20 onwards. Step number 20 holds the welcome message, so we create the campaign under this step. Now, let's test the generated campaign click-through URL. We are going to simulate what happens when your leads click the ad. We copy the URL and paste it in the browser. It takes us to the Facebook Messenger business page. The lead would click Get Started, and enter the campaign flow. For this demo, we've created a multimedia card that displays a video, to go with the welcome message text. Like we configured the workflow steps in the template, the Claim Coupon choice fires up the steps that qualify the lead, by capturing their personal preferences. And it's followed up with the capture of personal information. We've also created a multimedia card with call to action buttons for the final dialog that reveals the coupon code. These buttons enable the lead to buy the product online, or to get the map directions of stores, after they get access to the coupon. Check out the description for a link to a video on creating multimedia cards for the workflow steps. We can also get the leads to enter the campaign conversation, by inviting them through email or SMS promotion campaigns, to claim the coupon. We create campaigns that have the invite mechanism configured as SMS or email. This means, we also upload a list of target audience, who will receive the email or SMS campaign invite. Check out the description for the video link on setting up the SMS gateway. First, we download the target audience upload list template in step 2. We create the campaign for the specific product's welcome message. In this example, we've selected step number 20, which has the flow defined for the product's variant. We select email as the mechanism to invite the audience to claim the coupon. Now, we save the campaign and have the campaign click URL generated. Now scroll down to step 11.2 and 11.3. We can upload the target audience list here. Before we do that, let's look at the template and provide the audience details. The template we downloaded in step 2 is placed directly within the RHM-bot folder. We move it to the folder under which this campaign template sheet has been placed. In this example, it's the folder called Smartwatch. Now, we open this sheet and enter the details of the target audience. It captures the name, the mobile number with the country dial-in code, the email address, and optionally, the date of expiry of the campaign link. Now, we go back to step 11.2 where we upload the target audience invite list. Select the Refresh option from the drop-down, and we'll be able to see the sheet now. Select this sheet and click the Upload button. Now, in step 11.3, we can schedule when we want the email invites to be sent. Select the Schedule option from the drop-down. We select the time at which the invite should be sent. It's always the next day's time that's shown. We pick 10 a.m. and click Execute. The invites are now scheduled to be sent at 10 a.m. the next day. The email invites will have the campaign click URL customized for each invitee. The link will have their details encrypted. This way, we can track who has clicked the invite, and apply analytics, and follow it up with more personalized recommendations later on. For any queries, you can email support@4byoff.com. That's support@forbyof.com.